Welcome to Almost Functional Gaming. We aim to help all followers of Russ and the Allfather to improve on the tabletop. List building, tournament recaps, unit reviews, weekly council of the Fang, and other tips to help us all go from almost functional to fully functional. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional score tracker on Amazon.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Here to go through a breakdown of the list I took to Dragon's Cup and how I'm going to change it, and my thoughts after having run the detachment for the weekend. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and pull up the list I took. So let's see. Go to the pretty view. All right, so we had Arjac, Bjorn, Logan, Captain Terminator, armor with Grimnar's mark, Lieutenant with combi weapon with chair to the storm, Wolfguard battle leader with Skjald's foretelling, intercessor squad, scout squad, headtakers, 6 headtakers with paired weapons, and 6 wolves, 5-man termi, 2 10-man termies, and a wolf scout squad. So Arjac ran with a 10, the captain ran with a 10, Logan ran with a 5. Bjorn gives you CP, does all the stuff he normally does. We've talked about him a lot, so they're not really going to get into Bjorn. The lieutenant with the combi weapon with Church of Storm, that was to give me the redeploy to try to do the double rapid ingress with the 2 big 10-man squads. The idea sounds great in theory, but there's a lot of fast armies or other armies that have infiltrate or deep strike, so depending on whether you go first or second, which you don't get to know before the redeploy. So I'm not sure how viable double 10-man is. Maybe running a little 5-man with the captain as its own little free rapid ingress, not even trying to set up the double on the free heroic could possibly be a thing. I ran the captain with the relic weapon. I think you definitely have to take the fist. Him being strength 5 on top of all of our normal strength 5 problems just didn't seem to. He just seemed very weak compared to the other characters in this list when the unit was in combat. It was basically just like an extra regular guy that hit on 2s, but was still strength 5. So I think if you're going to run him, you have to take the fist. Do not run him with the relic weapon. But I think the double rapid ingress 3 Terminator squad play, at least with big squads, might not be the way to go. Thought about running 3 5s, but I still like having Arjac with that 10. So for right now, I'm probably not going to be running the captain with the Grimnar's mark. That's probably still the drop. And if that's the case, without that, you don't need the Chariot of the Storm. So we're already freeing up a lot of points to add some extra stuff in here. Battle leader with Skjald Foretelling. I run with a Thunderhammer. This unit absolutely slapped. They killed almost everything they hit in every game. The only thing that lived through them was Rodigus, and that was because I wasn't able to get the dev wounds over on him for the quarry, because I ended up having, I can't remember if it was a Plague Bearer or a Spawn or something, just barely lived from the Terminator squad that hit it, and I wasn't able to flip it over. I think it was a Spawn. I think I had to charge a Death Shroud and the Spawn. I wasn't able to get enough attacks into the Spawn unit to move the core target based on what my charge roll was. But they still took Rodigus down to I think 4 wounds without it, which is pretty freaking amazing. The Terminators, like I said, are always great. Probably going to drop the 3rd one. Wolf Scouts are solid. They're not a must-take, but if you have them, they can be useful. Run out, throw the grenade, do the mine, shoot your pistols. They can do some damage. So that was the list we're running. So my thoughts after the weekend is our pure melee list still have some weaknesses punching up into tougher armies. Like I said the other video, I had Custodes twice, Death Guard, Monster Machinids, and then a super shooty 7 Crisis unit Tau army. That actually, you can kill the suits pretty decently, but they're fast, so getting into combat with them a lot. And then we were on layout 5, which made staging hard. I think I could give that list a better game, even with the all melee on a better layout. But even so, I think we're going to need to take some shooting in this detachment just to get the best out of it. Because now that we look at that, we're going to go back here and look at the strats. So you can reroll advance and charge rolls 1 turn, +1 to hit. If you're not taking any shooting, this is 1/3 of your army rule you're really not taking advantage of. Then the lethal sustained combat is useful. It's not as good as +1 to wound. It's not reliable. There's a couple times I really needed it to go off and I couldn't get the 6s, but it is useful. Then Logan letting you do 1 a second time. If you run a shooting list, there are games where you might pop the +1. It just gives you options to just skew which one you pop into the matchup. Enhancements, Grimnar's Mark, if you want to run the captain's fine. The 0 CP, Rapid Ingress, and Heroic, doing that, and then having his free CP. I found I had a lot of CP economy. I'm probably going to drop it out of this next list, but it's not horrible. There can be builds with it, I think, but you probably run him with a 5-man Terminator, not a 10-man, and you give him the fist, not the relic weapon. Hellball, that's fine if you want to run the Wolf Priest. I'm only running 1 Headtaker squad and no Grey Hunters or Blood Claws or anything else, so I'm not running a Wolf Priest, so I won't be needing that. And Chariot to the Storm, if you're not going for the double Rapid Ingress play, you don't need to spend the points there. Skjald's Foretelling, I'm definitely taking. That paired weapon with Lance is just super, super strong. Then here, Foe Foreseen. Basically, that's just Armor Contempt with our Terminators. Also now with some of the shooting platforms I'm bringing, even with Headtakers against certain things, this is always good. The fallback and charge, advance and charge is just great. These strats are amazing. Grimnar's Command, being able to put a unit into one of the things, awesome. Eye of the Pack, +1 to wound and shooting. Didn't get to really use it because I didn't build anything that took advantage of it. But I think some of these units that I put in the new list, having a turn where you're getting +1 to wound on something, plus everything's +1 to hit. You can really clear out a bunch of screens, pick up a bunch of dedicated transports, kill some of the bigger stuff just to make it easy for your melee units when they get into the targets that they're really efficient into, instead of being wasted killing transports or little screens they don't want to kill, or base stuff they're going to be stuck in for a couple turns. Fenrisian Ferocity, I'm going to put some walkers in the list. If you want to take Thunderwolves, great. Like these, the ability to go over stuff, not be move blocked with these units is great. I think I'm going to go a little more walker-centric in this next build. So the ability to walk through the walls and find firing lanes, I think is going to be really, really useful. And then Battle Instincts. This one, actually once it came in really big, but most of the time it's with a D6. It's not reliable. You can't necessarily always get out of charge range or out of shooting arcs. This, I find, most of the time is going to be a trap, a waste of CP. So I'd say for the most part, ignore this unless it's a desperate situation, Hail Mary. I'd say don't try to rely on this as part of your game plan. So just kind of pretend like we have 5 strats. 4 of them are really good. One of them hopefully will be. I haven't got to use it, but I'm thinking it'll be good. But with that being said, I'm really liking the detachment. I think it has a lot of potential. But I think if you go all melee or too shooty, you're really doing a disservice of the versatility of this detachment. I think you need to take a little of both so you can really take advantage of all the rules we're getting here. So that being said, we'll go down here and drop the stuff I was talking about. We're going to drop the captain. We're going to drop the combi lieutenant altogether now. Battle leaders stay in. Intercessors are going to go away. I'm going to turn them into infiltrators, especially in that Tau game and the Death Shroud game. People that have the ability to 6-inch deep strike, subterranean assault, not having the infiltrators, I really, really felt this weekend, which I find happens. I'll take them and then not hit anything I needed them against. But every time I take them out of the list, I end up playing stuff that, like, damn it, I needed the infiltrators. So the infiltrators are going to go on the list. Scouts are staying. Headtakers are staying, but we're going to drop hunting wolves. Free up some points there. We're going to drop the second 10-man Terminator squad. So we're going to run a 10-man with Arjac, 5-man with Logan. Then we're going to drop the Wolf Scouts. And now we're going to add some vehicles. So we're going to add, first thing I'm going to add is Redemptor Dreadnought. I really like the Redemptors. Their toughness with the Terminators, I think, is Going to be a really, really good skew. I was running a 3 Redemptor list in Gladius. That's what I've ended up getting second at the 1 GT with. So I think there's still some play there. I also want to add in a Gladiator Lancer. I just think they're really, really nice, and if giving them +1 to hit just really helps with their efficiency. And I also want to add a Predator Annihilator. You could go 2 Predator Annihilators, but I'm going to go with 1 and the Lancer. All right, so that being said, the Predator, the Lancer, we'll give it 2 Stormbolters. That's not a big difference which one you take, but I just would prefer that way. And then all the free upgrades. I'm going to go to the Annihilator, give him all the upgrades. We're running with the Live Cannons, Hunter Killer, and the Stormbolter. Sorry, trying to get over this cold still. Really messing with my voice. And then last, I go to the Redemptors. I'll give him the Macro, give him the Rocket Pod. I like him with the Onslaught and the Stormbolters. And then we're going to duplicate him, because we're going to have 2 of those. And that puts us at 1900. Oh, we didn't add the Infiltrators back in. So, Infiltrators, I know a lot of people like Intercessors because, like, oh, I can sticky and then move up and do stuff. But I find every time I try to leave my backfield, it ends up bad. So, I just like to spend this 100 points and just not worry about my backfield for the whole game. Just leave them there and not worry about it. I will give them the Helix and the Gauntlet, or the Helix and the Comms Array. So that puts us at 2,000. We'll go up here and look at the export of the list. I think this will be a much more balanced, and I think this will play really, really well. I'm going to take my army with me as I'm traveling over the next 2 weeks for Christmas. Hopefully I can find some games while I'm up in Virginia to actually play test this. Otherwise, I'll get as much playtesting as I can once I get back. Give you guys some news on that. Unfortunately, I had to cancel Wednesday night 40K last night, which is when I normally test because I've been sick. So we got Arjac running with a 10-man, Bjorn, Logan with a 5-man, Battle Leader with the 6 Headtakers, 1 Infiltrator squad, Scouts, Headtakers, Terminators, then the Lancer, Annihilator, and 2 Dreadnoughts. We'll see if maybe I skewed a little too heavily into shooting. I don't think so, because the Redemptors are also decent combat pieces and help with killing big stuff. The Lancers and Annihilators can threaten flanks, while the Redemptors kind of push middle. We could always end up dropping one of these and maybe putting some Wolf Scouts and some Hunting Wolves or something back in, or some Fenrisian Wolves. So potentially, I think the 2 Redemptors stay. We can potentially drop one of these tanks. We'll see after some playtesting, but I want to test it this way. I just really like the thought of the Redemptors pushing middle and having a tank that can threaten each flank. And I like the number of shots from the Annihilator, but I also like the reroll wounds and damage and the reroll to hit and all that with the extra strength and built-in damage on the D6 plus, what is it, D6 plus 3 on the Lancer, D6 plus 1 on the Predator. But I think this will play really well. I'm really excited to play this list. So I will keep you guys updated if I get any playtesting done over the next couple of weeks, or if it might just be when I get back. But I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer than that. That's my thoughts on the list, and I'm really excited about this detachment. I think it can do some great things. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching Almost Functional Gaming. We appreciate the support of all followers of Russ and the Allfather. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional Score Tracker on Amazon. Everything helps support the growth of this channel, and we appreciate it.